Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we'll learn about the wonderful initiatives at Livingston Philanthropies. We'll also hear from Bob Bianchi, who will be the keynote speaker at the 200 Club of Morris County's 50th Annual Award Ceremony. But first, you might know Suburban Propane Partners as a nationwide distributor of propane, renewable propane, and fuel oil. Earlier this month, they partnered with the Guy Fieri Foundation to serve meals to New Jersey veterans. Joining us now is CEO Michael Stivala. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you for having me today.
So, congratulations on this very cool partnership with Guy Fieri. I saw the pictures. I wish I could have attended that event. Tell us all about how that partnership came to be.
Well, it's actually an interesting story. We're in 42 states across the country, and what we didn't know a couple months ago was that one of our locations in California has partnered with the Guy Fieri Foundation before to provide propane for some of their events where they require the propane for cooking meals for whoever they're serving in that regard. And so they were talking about coming to New Jersey and doing a great event for veterans, and we got together to partner together on that event, and it was just an amazing day, a couple of days actually, but I participated a week ago today, last Friday, down in Middletown, where we served about 500 veterans meals. We prepped, we cooked, and we served meals to about 500 veterans. And it was just an amazing event to give back to such an amazing community of people.
Well, I'm sure the food was good, considering you had such a powerhouse chef behind the scenes.
He's terrific. I mean, he really was generous with his time. He stood there for a couple of hours. Everybody, as you can imagine, all the veterans wanted to take a photo with him, so the line was out the door waiting to spend a little time and shake his hand, and he's very, very gracious. And it really was great to be with him. He did actually present me with an honorary chef's jacket with my name, and he signed it. So it was very, very wonderful of him to join us for the day. I know the veterans appreciated it, and certainly the food was amazing.
That's so exciting. I know that you have an initiative, Suburban Care, so I'm sure this fell under that. Can you tell us more about that cause?
Yeah, so we're like I said, we're in 42 states, and what we consider is that we are embedded in the local communities across our entire footprint. And so we created Suburban Cares a few years ago to really package together all of our community efforts and our philanthropic initiatives under the Suburban Cares platform, and it allows us to really sort of package together all of what we do under that moniker. And included in that, though, is not only our local community events like the veterans event we had last week, but also we're a national partner with the American Red Cross. And so you can see the truck in the background here has the American Red Cross logo on it, and that's part of our partnership with them. That dates back to 2012, and it's such an amazing partnership we have, where we sponsor blood drives throughout our footprint all year long. Additionally, our Suburban Cares platform encompasses our devotion to military veterans. We have a program called Heroes Hired Here, where we're constantly looking to bring in military veterans into a job with Suburban Propane, because we believe that not only their commitment to serve our country, but their training, their leadership are perfect in terms of a career at Suburban Propane. So it encompasses our local community efforts, our national sponsorship with the Red Cross, and then our devotion to our military veterans community.
I love that. So Suburban Propane, you mentioned, is in 42 states. You oversee the operations out of Whippany, New Jersey, which I think is very, very cool. So tell us about your company and the operations happening out of Morris County.
So we're the third largest propane distributor in the country. Propane is actually, a misunderstood energy source. It's one of the cleanest burning energy sources there is. And as we talk about energy transition in the country and across the world, so propane really has a major place in that transition as a clean burning fuel that is so versatile, uh, portable, clean, and affordable. And it's, for us, we get more than 95% of our production right here in the United States. So it's a great domestic energy source. So we're part of our corporate pillars are our Go Green initiative, which really has two tenets to it. One is advocacy, to really get the word out as to how propane can really be a solution long term to lower carbon emissions, which is really the goal of the climate change initiatives, but also innovation. And so we think by not only advocating, but putting our money where our mouth is and investing in even cleaner technologies for the energy of the future are critical to not only energy affordability, sustainability, and resiliency, but also the long-term sustainability of Suburban Propane. We're proud of our roots actually date back to 1928. We founded the propane industry. Our original entrepreneurial founder was right out of West Orange, New Jersey, actually. So if you think about it, the propane industry started in 1928 as a portable energy source in West Orange, New Jersey, and our headquarters are now in Whippany, New Jersey. And my job as the current leader is to set the business up for the next 93 years and continue to be a source of employment, a source of energy for our communities for the long term. So that's what we're all about. So we started in West Orange, and we didn't move too far in the 93 years. We're over in Whippany, New Jersey now for our headquarters.
How long have you been with the organization, and how did you rise through the ranks?
I joined as the controller in 2001. They moved me into the CFO role in 2007, and then ultimately into the CEO role in 2014. So I've had the pleasure of running the company now for 8 years, and it's just a wonderful organization. We're 3,200 people strong across the country, and very, very proud of what we've accomplished.
Well, between your track record of success, Suburban Cares, your green initiatives, I think you've given the company enough fuel, no pun intended, to go 93 years more and beyond. So, Michael, thank you so much for joining us here today and telling your story.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate the time.
Livingston Philanthropies is a New Jersey nonprofit that aims to feed the hungry, clothe the cold, and house the homeless. Here to tell us more about these programs is CEO Jeff Friedman. Jeff, it's so special to have you on the show. I've known you for, gosh, like 15 years at this point. We used to work on another show together, Montclair State. So it's kind of surreal that you're here with me today.
Well, it's really fun for me, and to see what you've done with this show. And I watch it every week, of course, and Laura's show, and it's really, I'm so happy for your success, and I'm happy for the state, because look at what you guys are doing to cover what a lot of us, or at least some of us, want to see.
Well, this is our little way of giving back, but it nowhere compares to what you are doing with Livingston Philanthropies. So tell us all about it.
Well, we started out as a little coat drive about 10.5 years ago, and we ended up collecting, our little coat drive started with 300 the first year, ended up collecting 7 tons of coats and delivering them in our own cars because we didn't have a van. The fundraising became a 501c3 nonprofit, and some dollars came in, and we bought a van, and we reinvented. This is the biggie. We reinvented rather for the pandemic, because I couldn't go down and deliver anymore. So we reinvented in many different ways and became what we are today.
So take me back to the beginning, though. You are a prolific local director, numerous Emmy Awards. How did you parlay all of that experience into being a philanthropist?
That's a good question. It's really a calling. It's something that's been inside of me, and it's like anything, Lisa. You know, it was an evolution. So I started at St. John's Soup Kitchen in the kitchen. You know, one day a week at lunch. It was right near our TV studio, and you know, and from there it just went on to glove drives and clothing and you know, food, and then all of a sudden it hit me. You know, coat drive. And I thought, okay, I can do this. And I was still, you know, still working in TV full time. Like, I mean, you know me, I always had 3 different jobs and at the same time. And one thing led to another, and we evolved, and we became the 501, as I mentioned. And here we are today, purchasing and delivering just a ton of needed items for folks that are either living below the poverty line or actually out on the streets, Lisa.
Wow. How do you connect with other nonprofit organizations to coordinate these deliveries?
Yeah, we sure do. We do everything on this end, but then to deliver, we needed places to deliver to. So I found many nonprofits in Newark that need exactly what we were purchasing, and we are purchasing right now today and delivering. I have about 5 distribution partners, I call them, and they're really wonderful. And I know these folks now for 10 years, and it's really great. We deliver, they give out, people give, and it's sort of a neat little circular flow, kind of like the economy, but it's a different economy. I'm going to say one more thing. People ask, well, geez, what do they need? Well, my answer is always the same. It's everything, absolutely everything, in terms of just surviving day to day. And this is just not Newark. I mean, Newark is a microcosm of many cities and rural, by the way, rural communities around the country.
So you mentioned how you kind of had to switch your efforts due to COVID-19. Now that we're coming out of the pandemic, what's going to be the next step for Livingston Philanthropies?
The next step is I want to be able to be in a position where I can buy more stuff for the people that need it the most.
But what about people watching? How can they get it to you? Do you have a warehouse to house all of these items?
Well, they can certainly, they can do several things, Lisa. They can email me at njhomeless@aol.com. And we have also a PayPal account. So if folks decide they want to, I think there's a lot of people out there, they want to do something, Lisa, but they're not sure. Well, here, you can go to paypal.me/NJ Homeless, and you can contribute. Or I have to say, Lisa, there are so many great 501s and charities and organizations that are doing things and purchasing things for the homeless, and there's all kinds of stuff. So folks don't have to donate to LPI. I mean, I would like that, but there's so many places to do it that just do a little something, make a difference, and that would be really cool.
Do you have a favorite success story? Someone that you helped through your donations maybe turn around their life?
Well, there are some stories. I mean, this is one I really like. We go down to St. John's Women's Center, which is indoors, and they just reopened after the pandemic. This week we're going back, and myself and my wife, Karen, her friends who see this know her as Weenie, of course, and she makes actually the toiletries gift bags. Go down there and give them out. So here's the thing. Here was a lady, and I also had Q-tips in little baggies. I had maybe 8 Q-tips. I handed her the Q-tips, and here's what she said, Lisa: Q-tips, it doesn't get any better than this. Wow. That's really emblematic of really the things we take for granted. Listen, a lot of this is endemic, Lisa. So there are some folks that are going to, and the hope is that folks are going to, be able to get out of the vicious cycle, but it's really difficult. I just want to ask folks to step up and make a difference. Again, whether it's with Livingston Philanthropies or any number of different great organizations, step up, make a difference. You'll feel real good. And it might not just be with financial donation, but it would be with, with stuff. Diapers are huge. We buy hundreds and hundreds of diapers that go downtown. Again, there's a monthly, there's a million food giveaways, free food giveaways. One at Newark Emergency Services for Families, Executive Director Amina Bay. Once a month, we buy produce. LPI buys produce. Could I do this 3 years ago? No, I had no money. We couldn't buy anything. So each month, and it's coming up again next week, we're purchasing between $2,000 and $2,500 worth of fresh fresh produce that we deliver, and they give it out the next day. So there's just, if folks just go online, they can find a million things to to help with.
How many people are you working with? You mentioned Whippany. Is there anybody else on your staff?
Well, we have, we're all volunteer, number one, including myself. So basically, I don't know what the percentage is when folks contribute, but it all goes to either buying stuff for for people, or minor costs like insurance and things like that. Basically, I handle all of the administrative, financial, fundraising. As you know, that's a pretty busy, just about a full-time job. My wife is the VP of the foundation, as I mentioned, the nonprofit. She does the toiletries, gift bags, and some other things. And I have 3 volunteers that are just wonderful. And I've had many over the years, they come and go. But my 3 volunteers, I call them my muscle, because I've gotten a lot better. I can actually carry a 50-pound case of produce, which I didn't think I could do. Meanwhile, for them, that's a toothpick. It's not a problem. Including my volunteer should I say his age? Let's put it this way. Alan Wishengrad is well into his 80s. He's been a physical guy all his life. He comes over, as I said, when I need muscle, and he'll grab these things. And he's throwing them in the van. He's an amazing guy. But there's 3 folks like that, and otherwise we kind of make it happen that way.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much. I know when you're not doing Livingston Philanthropies, you're enjoying Maine lobster, so enjoy that.
Yeah, heading up to Maine. I really appreciate it, Lisa, and you keep up the good work too. And that's so great, so nice of you to invite me, and so great to get the word out about Livingston Philanthropies Inc. I'll close now with our mission, and it's to provide for the homeless, the profoundly poor, and the disenfranchised. That's what we do, and folks can help us. As you are right now, Lisa.
The 200 Club of Morris County supports and honors first responders throughout the county. They're holding their 50th annual awards to recognize those who have gone above and beyond in their line of work. Joining us now is the keynote speaker for this event, Bob Bianchi. Bob, welcome to the show.
Lisa, it's such an honor to be on. I love my being on with you in all productions and everything. You're doing a great job, and I'm very proud of the work you're doing, and thank you so much for having me on.
Well, I'm proud of you for being named keynote speaker of this wonderful event. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's in my home county where I was the county prosecutor, and we always supported the 200 Club. It's an amazing organization of volunteers, and that's going to be the theme I'm actually going to be speaking about, volunteerism. I mean, our first responders put themselves on the line, and we could say that. It sounds kind of cliche. Having been an EMT myself and working in Newark and East Orange and South Orange for many years, I know what it is that they do in each and every other day, but I think we have a different flavor of it now, especially after COVID. I mean, I've been involved in infectious disease situations on an isolated basis when I was an EMT, but these people who were walking in to the jaws of potential death and serious sickness while they took care of us. So I think it's a great opportunity to say to people, you may not be able to be a fireman or a police officer or an EMT or another first responder or essential worker, but you can join a club like the 200 Club and support what it is that they do for first responders who unfortunately die or seriously injured, and they're providing for their families. What a great cause. So even if you can't do the work, you can support the cause, Lisa. It's going to be on Thursday, May 5th at the Legacy Castle in Pompton Plains, and they can go to the 200 Club website of Morris County and certainly get their tickets there. But that's probably the best place to go, the website, because then you'll get to see all the great stuff they do as well, Lisa.
Like what?
Oh my gosh, all the charitable events and the millions of dollars that have been given out over the years, again, for these first responders whose families are in desperate need when tragedy strikes and there's not enough money to be able to take care of the spouses and the families. So, and all the events that they have and how you can actually contribute and become a part of the 200 Club is all right there. I think if people will look at that website, and people love volunteerism, Lisa, in my mind, it lets you step out of yourself and help other people. A lot of times, they don't know where to go. And this is a perfect opportunity for them to buy a ticket, maybe take an ad, and also become a member or a volunteer with the 200 Club of Morris County.
And they can listen to the great words of Bob Bianchi. You are an amazing public speaker, so I know that the attendees are in for a great treat.
Thanks, Lisa.
So your professional work is as a lawyer, and you have a very unique law firm that actually has a community affairs unit within it. Can you tell our audience about the work you're doing for the community?
I got laughed at when I was the county prosecutor for starting the first community affairs unit in the state, and literally teased by all the other prosecutors. And until this is going back in 2007, before it was fashionable, until they realized that, first of all, we're public servants. We need to be out in the public, not sitting in an ivory tower making monumental decisions over the lives of other people. If the community trusts you, then they can trust the judgments you're making. I found this to be the most powerful thing I did as the county prosecutor. I put in charge of that unit, you know this person, Chief Billy Chavella. He was my chief, and I specifically did that for a reason. I wanted our detective staff in our office to know that I was serious about getting out in the community. And boy, did I learn a lot. I learned a lot about who the people were, faith-based services. Anywhere I could go, I was there. We were giving lectures on domestic violence. We were giving lectures on criminal justice, whatever you wanted, target hardening in terms of crime issues. We would give and fashion programs for whatever those organizations wanted. So when I no longer had the position anymore, I got to be honest with you, it left kind of like a little bit of a hole in my heart, because it was not only great for the community, and not only did we build trusting relationships, it also helped us with crime interdiction, because those people felt comfortable in speaking with law enforcement. And so we had that, I lost that kind of powerful relationship. So when I got out, I made it very clear, my dad, Angelo Bianchi, you know him too. He's a great inspiration in my life. And my father always said, being a lawyer, the great thing about it is that you can make somebody breathe easier and assist people that are in need every single day of your career. And that's where the power of being a lawyer is. It's not about money, or if you're looking at those kind of things in your mind, then you're always going to be dissatisfied. But if you're doing something that you love because you're going to, at the end of your life, look back, you don't care about what's in your bank account when you're looking back. You don't care at that time at the end is. You care about the rippling effects of the people's lives that you positively affected, knowing that your legacy lives, even if you're not noticed for it, lives in the lives of other people. So I just couldn't get out when we started the Bianchi Law Group and not start both a community affairs unit where we do very similar programs that going to colleges and speaking at Rotary clubs and things of that nature. But I also started an inspirational blog on our website. The community affairs unit just breathes a lot of life into the fabric of who we are as a law firm. And I am extremely proud of the uniqueness of that.
And you should be. You really go against that lawyer stereotype. So you and I came together many moons ago when you were named the Grand Marshal of the Morris County Columbus Day Parade, which I'm also a part of. Last year, you were named the Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America National President, which is such a prestigious honor and a title I know you wear proudly. Tell us what the focus is of OSDIA and its social justice mission.
Well, the Order Sons and Daughters of Italy in America is the largest and oldest Italian-American organization throughout the United States, as well as we have lodges in Canada and in Italy. And we've raised tens of millions of dollars for charities and scholarships and disaster relief. We're doing one right now for a fundraiser for Ukraine. If anybody's interested, you can go to osia.org. And so we're very proud of that. But also social justice issues. We have a component in our organization called the Commission for Social Justice. And that commission is to not only promote a positive image of Italian Americans, they also fight discrimination in all forms. And we have partnered with many groups, because wherever it is, when a minority seizes authority, becomes a majority, hates a minority. That is the quatrain, as my father taught me. A minority becomes a majority, seizes authority, hates a minority. And we work very hard to make sure that that does not happen, and that everybody has an equal opportunity. So we partner with other groups as well. And being the national president, I mean, it's just amazing, because not only do we have a supreme lodge, as we call it, where I'm in charge of all the national events, but we also have grand lodges and local lodges. And the unique flavor of our organization, Lisa, as opposed to any other major Italian American organization, is that very thing. We are out in the community making a difference, whether it's selling meatball sandwiches to use something that people do, or hoagies, or running a gala or an event to raise money for charities like Cooley's Anemia and cancer research and Alzheimer's, and for wounded veterans and getting them vans and fitting them. It's really our scholarships that we have at our National Education Leadership Award dinner in Washington, D.C., where we have our national headquarters. It just really does so much for the community, literally locally, as well as throughout the United States. So it's a great honor to have been selected with so many people that are part of our organization to lead the organization. And it's been a lot of work, but we are really proud of the accomplishments we're making.
Yes, and here in New Jersey, we obviously have a big Italian-American population, and I know there's local lodges all throughout the Garden State.
Yeah, right in Morris County, we have a local lodge here. And in fact, we have 2 new lodges. We have a number of them throughout the entire state, from south to north. Big presence in the south. A lot of people are surprised at that. And we have 2 new lodges that are joining New Jersey now. So the organization is growing. And I think what we're really concentrating now is we're getting younger members in. And we do that by things that we believe are very attractive to younger people. First of all, the connections they can make for internships and scholarships and business opportunities and networking, of course, is one thing. But I know the younger generations, I think they say the younger, I think it's always been all of our generations when we're younger, want to be able to make a difference in the community and do charitable things. So even if you're not Italian, you can certainly join the organization. But if you're looking for that kind of organization that also, has that Italian flair to it, it has that, keeps our historical roots of who we are as a great and proud people that have made so many great contributions to this country. If that's all stuff that people like, then this is the organization for you.
Bob, where can people find out more about you?
You can go to BianchiLawGroup.com, www.bianchlawgroup.com, and pretty much everything that we are and who we are is there. And certainly you can go to NothingButTheTruthPodcast.com. We're on Spotify and all those other things. Dave knows better than I do. We're all over on them. So that's definitely 2 places that you could look.
Great. Thank you so much, Bob.
Lisa, thanks so much. And congratulations on your great success. You're awesome.
And you are too. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.